This is Rare Elvis Photos. Please like, subscribe, and hit all notifications. Sassy3443 said, where can I get those plastic card holders? I did respond to your message there. It's great to keep those cards protected, and it just really presents nicely. Vicky6070, I really like that you're going through this book chapter by chapter, and that we have an opportunity to discuss this together. I like how you hold the book up to the camera so we can read along with you. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You know, I think that this is kind of my first foray into reading stuff online. I used to love reading as a kid, and you know, when I got called on class, I felt really good about reading a section perfectly. It's really difficult to read sometimes. It's funny, you know, these are words I haven't really seen in a while. Anyhow, but I figured it's great for y'all to see as well. So if I do mess up, or if I miss a section somehow, y'all get to read it as well, and you don't miss out on anything. Marianne Ellis says, I'm still rereading this book. It really shows why Priscilla has kept secrets all her life and continues to do so, and just outright lies about things. I wish she would just chill out and be a grandmother, but she won't. You know, good point, Marianne. You know, she got it honest. You know, she got it from her mom, who got it from her mom. And, you know, maybe, well, that's the way it was sometimes. I mean, you were pretty private. You didn't feel like anybody needed to know your business. But, you know, she's in a public world. She's always been in a public world. And so it's just not a good look to not face the truth. And I'm kind of glad that Curry Grant did call her out on her grandmother and put that ad, and that's going to be later on in the book. It forced Priscilla to do the right thing when she should have done the right thing a long time before. She had power, prestige, she had opportunities. She knew that her grandmother was out there. All right, so Mary, excuse me, having been raised in the 50s in the South, was a big deal to marry a virgin. Yes, there were many good girls and there were bad. A girl in my high school got pregnant and they threw her out. I know it wasn't fair, but that was the culture. Elvis thought he had found the perfect girl, I think is what you said, and she thought she found the perfect guy, and they both were fooled, I think is what you said in the full comment. So yeah, Mary, I get it. I mean, it's wrong. It's a double standard, and certainly the culture back then, we can't do nothing to change it, but it was that way. And now we know for the most part it's kind of wrong, but at the same time, those rules and culture rules were in some ways meant to protect the girl and to protect the guy from diseases, from pregnancies, from having a single kid, and being a single parent. It doesn't protect you completely, but that's kind of the reasons why they were there. Edie 1011, I do think Priscilla looked like Deborah Paget. In my opinion, a beautiful face, but a so-so figure. But she knew how to use it to bamboozle Elvis. He didn't realize how ugly she was inside until it was too late. Yeah, I think Elvis experienced a lot of stuff. He probably experienced guilt as well, you know, because once again, when you're married, to get divorced was very taboo back then. And he knew, perhaps, that everything he did before, and maybe some of the stuff he did during, you know, it didn't make it the easiest to be married. Now, once again, Priscilla knew who she was marrying. She would have known. She'd been living there. So, you know, she knew what she was getting into, and I think, once again, a lot of us think she was forced. I mean, he was forced. Gianna Garda says, amazing cards. Thank you. Check out the other videos. I've got a lot of different videos lately. Some very cool older cards. Some of the 78, some of the 56, some of the Danish cards, Netherlands cards. It's interesting to see what's out there, and this is the first time I've dipped my feet into Elvis cards. I've always had baseball cards and football cards, but never have I had Elvis cards. So Norma Critchlow says, thanks for sharing this with us. You do it very well by letting us read with you. I feel very sorry for her real grandparents. They must have been heartbroken to spend so much time with her the first 3 years and then not have any contact. They must have been devastated. Yes, and that's the thing. I mean, to do that to another person shows kind of what her mom was all about, Priscilla's mom. And you learn a lot from your parents, and sometimes you become just like them. Ricardo Mazasexas? Well, I can't pronounce your last. It's a very cool name. If I had to pick an Elvis girlfriend, certainly wouldn't be Priscilla. I don't understand why Elvis got so attached to her. Well, he got attached to her because she listened. She was quiet. She was trained by Curry Grant, according to this book, to do everything that Elvis would think of in a dream girl. And she had dark hair. His mother had dark hair. He just lost his mother. You know, a lot of times you're looking for a replacement for that emotional bond that you had all your life. And Gladys listened very well to Elvis. I'm sure she babied him. So that's why. A couple of things that I got from this chapter. One, Paul gave the impression that he wanted to be something important. Perhaps Paul's need to find importance relied upon Prissy's connection to Elvis. It appears that Anne and Paul were both smitten by Elvis. Vicky, I'm sorry your second one got cut off, but yeah, I think that that he did want to be something important, and a life connected to Elvis is going to be about the most important thing you can be when you're not famous yourself. And no doubt that they pushed her towards Elvis. Now, as a parent, if you thought that somebody was respectful and was into your daughter and your daughter was into them, if that was the case, sometimes you can't blame. I know the age is an age thing, but she was 17 when she went to Graceland, almost 18, a month away. But at the same time, if she wanted to be with somebody else, like this book states, and she wanted to have her own life, and she was forced into a different type of life, well, you know, you have to, in a way, feel bad for Priscilla because, you know, that was forced upon her, perhaps. And that's, once again, I'm just speculating according to the book. Val 45678, what's the goal towards Elvis when the author of the book even falsely pretends, page 214, Sheila Cann was a teenager herself when she met Elvis. Sheila was born in 52. She was a Playboy cover girl when she met Elvis. I think she would have been 22, 23. And I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it. We're not there yet, but let's deal with that when the time comes, and I appreciate your comment. Addie117, I will read it in the meantime. I'd hear you reading it. Well, cool, Addie. And hopefully I'll continue to read it better and clearer for you guys, so it's more succinct for you. Boyu is pronounced Boyu. The L is silent. And that's what I've always said is Boyu or Bolu, or then I read some pronunciation in the book that was Boliu. So I don't really know. I think French say it differently than Americans. So I don't really know. That's why I play around with the name, you know, Babaloo, Babaloo. I collect all these Elvis cards in 78. Riley Roo, too. Do you still have those cards, Riley Roo? Regardless, I mean, it's nice. Like, I've had so many baseball cards and football cards that I've touched and slabbed, which is putting them in the cases. And I still remember the feel of putting them in. Even though I don't have those anymore, I still remember them, and I had them at one time. So glad to hear you did have those cards at one time. Rosemary Hardy, hi, love this channel. People seem to have a problem, hey, pronouncing Beaulieu or Beaulieu. In England, we have a town with the same name. We say Boulay. So you've got it. There's so many Beaulieu. Anyways, I almost feel like I'm from France. I'm speaking very accent-wise. I don't know. And somebody from France is probably like, "Oh, you sound crazy and funny." Oui, parlez-vous français from France? I have some French in me. I know I do. I'm like a quarter French, but I never learned how to speak French because I'm in America. And in America, we don't learn any other languages. I mean, sometimes we have French and Spanish in class back in the day when I was in high school, but you just weren't pushed to take those, and they didn't really teach them very well. I think I might have taken Spanish 1, and I don't remember learning a thing. I think the teacher sat around and played movies on TV and VCR. So anyhow, TCB TLC, till next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be more. I'm going to have another reading today. Till next time, this is Rare Photos.